This video is for those of you who are in a hormone crisis. So I'm going to talk about what it is and what you can do about it. First thing to know is that you can usually tell if you're having a hormone crisis if you are irritable, teary, you want to cry easily, nothing anybody does or says is going to please you, you can't find anything optimistic. And what you can do about it, there's a lot of things, but they are all things that you need to do intentionally. So just going down the list from sleep, movement, food, exercise, relationships, connection, emotional and spiritual stresses and physical stresses, all of those things you want to look at specifically so that you know what you're going to do. Get your little plan, write it down on a piece of paper, and you know what you're going to do to try to change this. For me, I'm going to start with my relationships because that's my husband. He's very important to me. He's really patient. And when you're in a hormone crisis, you are not, and you are not a reasonable person to be dealing with. And so it's very hard on those around you. And sometimes just giving yourself some distance, separating yourself from the situation, just let them know that you're working on it and you'll be back when you're more reasonable. The second part is to address your diet. For me, I got off track when I was away for several weeks out of the country and I didn't have certain foods that I normally eat. I will start back again on phytoestrogens, which are going to be organic soy products twice a day. It could be edamame, it could be soy milk, but at least 2 servings a day. And because I've been away from that for several weeks, over a month and a half, I am probably going to start with at least 3, maybe 4 servings a day to start out with the first week. But it takes time for your body to make those hormone adjustments. They don't happen overnight. So I wouldn't expect to get relief from that for about 2 to 3 weeks, but I will start that today. I will use movement, and movement is one of those things that gives you feel-good chemicals that are called endorphins. It can be something as easy as a walk, which can be very refreshing and not stressful on your body. If you use a workout, you need to be thinking the same thing. Something that is not intense will work a whole lot better than something that is physically stressful. So something aerobic, it can be an exercise bike, it can be a swim, whatever works for you, but not an intense level of stressful activity. A critical factor here for me is sleep. I was feeling this way before I traveled home, and then I had at least 24 hours of travel without any decent sleep, and it's taking me more than a week to get back on track with my sleep and my quality of sleep and my sleep schedule, and the amount of sleep I'm getting is just not back to normal yet. And all of those things not only stress your hormones, because that's when your hormones regulate, is during sleep. That's one of the times. But it also is causing an increased inflammation in your system because it stresses the immune system. And that makes you more irritable also. And lastly, I'm going to be thinking in terms of the stress. I am under a great deal of stress right now because of some of the things that we went out of the country for and came back and we're still dealing with. So part of that is a mental, emotional stress, and part of it's the physical stress of not having enough sleep or the travel or the exercise program being off track. So some of it's physical, emotional, of course, because of the effect that this is having on my relationship with my husband and the people around me. And lastly, even a spiritual stress, because you're not able to see the world clearly and you're not able to just settle in and accept what's happening and be okay with it. So those are the things that I'm going to be looking at from an emotional, spiritual stress standpoint, is just being able to accept what is and who I am, and that this is the way hormones go and this will pass. And in the moment, being very aware that actually in the moment, all things are just fine, and to embrace that. So those are the things I'm going to be doing in these next few weeks. Look at your own situation in all of those areas. Make a decision of what changes you can make in a positive direction, and then put them into place and expect that you will feel better. And it's going to take probably 2 to 3 weeks. So I just want to ask you to just take care of yourself and give yourself some TLC, cup of coffee, cup of warm tea, and maybe a nice bath. And we'll be following through with some additional suggestions for hormone regulation over these next few weeks. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.